Hi everyone. So today I wanted to talk about something that is pretty vulnerable, which is what to do when you are having a rough or challenging or bad day. One of the questions that I've gotten asked a lot since I was in high school is, how are you so happy all the time, Nicole? And the honest answer is that I'm not. I just take time to process my emotions in as much of a healthy outlet and productive way as I possibly can, so I can show up fully in any type of relationship or life situation. So I wanted to just kind of take you through what I do, what my process has been, and some tools that I feel are really helpful. I really desire to share a lot more vulnerably about my own journey. And you can tell from my voice, it's a little scary, but it feels like the right thing to do. There's so much about emotions that feels really important to me as a human being. As a psychic and intuitive, I can tell you that I see so much how emotions can impact a person. Even if I just look at a picture of someone, I can personally see a lot through their face and tell if they have processed their past, let go of any stress or, like, in general, negative emotions, or if they're kind of energetically stuck by it. So, my tools for if you're having a bad day or a challenging day, whether it's a weekend or a weekday, that I recommend anyone to do that can help you to really process your emotions and let go of some stuff. The first tool is probably the most talked about, which is journaling. I personally have loved journaling since I was in college, and I really got into it because I wanted a really safe way to hold space for myself, that I could just like pour out all my emotions and not worry about someone else judging me or understanding me. Because I'm so psychic and so highly sensitive and so intuitive, I could always tell if a friend like understood what I was saying or if they just kind of were like pretending to. And as I was going on my spiritual awakening, my self-growth journey, what I was really craving was a safe space to process my emotions. And I realized like I could give that to myself better than anyone else could. And this doesn't discount talking to other people or being vulnerable with a loved one in a way that feels really safe to you, because that is also another great way, and I'll get to that. But for me, journaling has been a way to dive deeper into myself. One of the journaling techniques that I've loved is to pour everything out on paper. So I've literally been in situations where I've been feeling, whether it's sad, even depressed, anxious, or just like a lot of like negative emotions coming up at once. And one of the best things that I have done for that is to write everything down on paper. So all the ugly, all the negative emotions, just write it down and not be judging my thoughts. This has then looked like I will play that, other side. So let's say that there was actually a point in college where I was kind of wondering if I was too nice of a person, like if I had people pleasing tendencies, how I could potentially heal from that or kind of change a little bit from that, so I could just show up better in all of my relationships, romantic, friendship, everything. And what I ended up doing was I wrote down like, I don't know if I'm too nice of a person, like thoughts, like really deep thoughts of like, I hate how nice I am to everyone. Like, I don't know if it's worth it. I never get to receive the same amount that I pour into other people, like whatever it was of these thoughts that I had. And what I did then, after I got everything out, and I can't remember everything I shared, but after I got everything out, what I ended up doing was I played the other side. So, what would I, being the friend that a lot of people have gone to for advice and like being a life coach now, certified life coach, but I wasn't back then, just being someone who was super intuitive, super empathetic, super sensitive, like what would I say to a friend if a friend had come to me with all those thoughts? And so I wrote all of that down on paper, and I was like, well, some of the other people that I love are also very nice, kind souls. And I wrote down like their names and like what I love about them. And then I asked myself, with everything out on paper, all of the negative thoughts, feelings, everything, and that like inner healer or kind of the more positive or even the more logical way of thinking, like the other side of it. And I said, like, okay, now that I have all this out on paper, who do I want to be? And I was able to make a decision from that and kind of go from there to figure out, okay, what feels like it's not healthy, as in what am I, how am I overgiving in some of my friendships or relationships? Where can I change that behavior? And how can I still embody who I truly am, which is a really kind, loving soul, without feeling like I'm overgiving? So that ended up being a question that I dived into. And I just gave that specific example because I think sometimes with specifics, it makes it easier. But that is really my tool number one. My tip number one is to journal everything out on paper, all the negative. Don't judge yourself. Just like let it flow, let it come out. And then do the opposite. And if a friend had come to you with all those thoughts, or someone that you deeply love, your child, a mom, like anyone that you just feel like you really deeply care about and would want to help, what would you say to that person? And write that down in your journal. Because so often, one of the things I've learned from all of the books I've read on therapy or psychology of the human mind, on the things that I've studied as a life coach, things I've noticed with clients, and also like my own personal journey with going into therapy, we can be the hardest on ourselves. And also, sometimes, we can have those negative habits of people pleasing or overgiving and overdoing. But the way that we change it first is always through self-awareness. That's what my therapist has said to me. She's really incredible. That self-awareness is always key to changing anything. So that's the first tip I want to give anyone, is to journal everything all out on paper and then come back to, who do you really want to be? The second tip or option modality that I personally really love is to just dance it out. Like put on a song. Maybe it's a song that you feel like really embodies or encompasses what you're going through. It could be about anxiety or stress if that's what you're going through. It could be about a challenge in your love life if that's what you're going through. Or you can just put on one of your favorite songs that really makes you feel and just dance it out. And I don't mean like dance like you're at a club, or like dance like you're trying to, attract a partner or impress someone. No, we're not dancing like that. We're not dancing attractively. When I say dance it out, I mean somatically dance it out. What that means is you allow your body to move to the music. So that could mean like you're shaking your whole body, or you're like moving your arms around in a way that like might not look as aesthetically pleasing. The concept of somatics, somatic therapy, all the modalities of somatics, is it's a way to move emotion out of the body. I can make another video on the science of it if you're really interested, but the reason that this has worked so well for me personally is because I'm so sensitive and I'm so intuitive. There's a lot of information that I receive on a daily basis, like without even trying sometimes. There's just things that I see in our world. I personally relate being intuitive to having like extra information. So you know how we have phones and you can look up absolutely anything on the internet? Being intuitive is like having the internet, except like in front of you, in your eyes. So every person that you look at, you like, depending on if you can control your skills and gifts or not, you can see so much, and it's kind of insane. It can be overwhelming. So that being someone who is very empathetic. So I've had a lot of situations, and even in part-time jobs, people will just like pour their hearts out to me, and I don't really ask, but it's like, it's an energy that I give off of being a space holder and being a safe space for feelings. So one of the things that I've really had to do, and that I continue to do if I'm having a bad day, is I go back to dance and somatically releasing emotion through movement. Because a lot of the things that I feel, or the ways that people share their deep stories and information with me, I really do love it. It gives me a very unique perspective on the world, and I get to make so many beautiful, deep connections, even just with a stranger at a random day at a part-time job or something like that. But it also requires me to end up letting go of the stuff that isn't mine, because from a psychic perspective, I'll tell you that everything that comes up in the day, like your auric field, your bubble, your energy, if there's like a bubble around you, it can hold on to stuff, it can keep stuff in there. So our job as the individual human is to cleanse our energy, our space. And part of that really does involve letting go of your own emotions, but also any emotions that you felt or picked up throughout the day from other people. So that's where the somatic release of specifically dancing for me has been so effective, because I'm able to like think and feel into the emotion of someone else that I felt, and then I just like dance it out. And like I said, you just let your body move you. Like, you are not trying to be attractive with this. The whole purpose and intention of it is you are setting the intention to get the emotion like out of your body, out of your auric field. Like, you are literally just like letting it go. So that's the second thing that I highly, highly recommend, second modality. And then the third is one I mentioned before briefly, is to talk to someone that you love and trust, someone that you feel is a really safe space for you. Some people have a really hard time journaling, and it might just be because you're like writing things out, while those same people who might have a hard time journaling, they have a really easy time talking to someone else. Part of the beauty of talking to someone, a trusted friend, a partner, a loved one, whether it's family or whoever, that you feel is a safe space for you, is you get to feel listened to, heard, and understood. Now, I add a little asterisk here because everyone understands things through their own lens and their own perspective on life. So choose wisely, and also just share knowing that your emotions are valid because you have them. Even if someone doesn't understand your exact perspective, that doesn't change your emotions. Like, your emotions are valid because you feel them. And that's it, like, period. So feel free to share with someone if that feels like you have a person in your life who's a really safe space for you and that you can do that with. Just know that one of the best ways to do that is to tell them like you really need to vent, or you just need to feel listened to and understood. Like, are they willing to just listen to everything you have to share? Setting an intention and communicating that really clearly can really help, whether it's your friend, your partner, whoever is holding that space for you, to give you what you are needing in that moment. So those are my top 3 tips for what to do if you're having a bad day. And little bonus ones I'll add is continue to make sure you're hydrating, drinking water, and like eating as well as you can throughout the day. Emotions are energy in motion. That is something that I have been consistently taught as I've been trained in various psychic gifts, intuitive training, and energy healing modalities. Energy wants to move through us. Every day it is. And emotions specifically want us to move. They want to move through us too. Like, we're not meant to get stuck in one place. We're not meant to feel sad or depressed or any negative emotion forever. But most of us aren't given tools on how to process it. So it ends up being that many humans walk through their life not knowing how to process their emotions, not knowing how to feel or let go of stuff or move through it. And this is why I wanted to create this video, because right now, today, I am currently going through a little bit of a challenging time emotionally. And these are practices I'm going to go back to. But I believe that everyone is worthy of knowing and deserves to know these tools, because obviously you're really the only person who can change your life or make yourself feel better, right? At the end of the day, because you're the only one that's in your head and you're the soul that's residing in your body. Like, your life is your responsibility. And I always like to empower people with that divine truth. But also, your relationship with other people can only get better to the degree that you have a great relationship with yourself. People please or overgive in relationships, or even do the opposite of like being narcissistic and stuff, usually because of wounding or because of like a shadow energy that they have not dived into. And I could create a whole nother video. If you have questions on that, just let me know below. But I really wanted to create this video today because I want people to know and understand that like there are always options for you, even if you're having a really challenging or emotionally hard day. Like, you do not have to give up. And I say this as someone who has navigated deep anxiety, depression, and severe anxiety specifically. And like, I said, I'm an empath, I'm highly intuitive, I'm highly psychic, I'm a very sensitive person. So I do deeply feel. I feel everyone's emotions around me, even if they're not telling me how they feel. That's just how I experience daily life. That is my version of reality. And I've really come to appreciate that gift. But with great power, as they say, comes great responsibility. So part of my responsibility is to process my emotions, to process my shit, as some people would say. And remember that I am in control of how I talk and walk and act and what I choose to believe and think. And I can always process my feelings, my emotions in a way that allows me to be even stronger and more confident and show up more loving in my relationships. I really feel like so many people, there's a better way that we can think about emotions and then also process them, feel them. People always talk about this in the healing industry, the healing arts. You need to feel in order to heal. It's because emotions are meant to be felt and processed. They're not meant to stay stuck in our bodies or in our energy fields. Like I said, you're not meant to stay sad or angry or depressed or heartbroken or upset or anxious, or like, that is not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are on a soul level is a beautiful, loving soul. And you're here on earth as a human being. You are meant to be that loving energy. You're meant to experience joy and beauty in life. You're not meant to stay stuck, but we need tools in order to move through things. So this is why I wanted to empower you all with this video. I hope that it helps. Like I said, I felt extra called to make it today and post it because I am currently processing and navigating some emotional challenges. So I'm right there with you. We all have emotional days or a hard day. It's a part of being human. But I think one of the best things that we can remember is that each of us, you watching this, you have the power to move through those emotions just like I do. And you're the one who gets to create your life or co-create it with God, the universe, the divine, whatever you call it, infinite, beautiful, loving energy that is bigger than all of us. So go do that. Figure out what you need today. If you need to dance it out, shake it out, put on some music and somatically release your emotions. If you need to journal, if you need to call a loved one, like just go do something to feel more free. Free yourself from your emotions because you are never stuck. And I believe in you, God believes in you, the universe believes in you. Like, you are love. You're meant to be love and you're meant to be loved. So go figure out how to release the fucking shit of whatever emotion you're feeling or negative energy or whatever it is, and come back and let me know how that practice worked for you. I'm sending you all infinite love and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.